Hey everyone, welcome back to Redditly. Today we have two stories, so make sure you stick around for the second one as well. The first one is titled, Stayed with My Cheater, What Life is Like a Year Later. Please make sure you like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss a future upload. Let's get right into it. So my worst nightmare happened over a year ago, and I can share that story if anyone is interested. My spouse had an emotional affair that went on for 3 months. I know this because I have actual proof, but even though I may minimize her actions, I will admit that this affair would have been a lot worse had I not found out / confronted her. When I found out, I went crazy. I can honestly empathize with people who do irrational when they find out they've been cheated on because betrayal is painful, especially when it's undeserved. Many posts on this sub were very encouraging, but I realized that most times commenters would suggest for posters to leave their spouse because once a cheater, always a cheater, etc., which I get. I stayed, and it was hard at first and it is still hard at times. What has made this year work is that I am intentional about not dwelling on what happened because it will lead to failure, and more importantly, it will drive me crazy. Also, I feel my partner has been genuine with our reconciliation. We talk about the cheating every now and then, and most times it's not when we're mad. Sometimes if I'm thinking about it, I'll just tell her and we'll talk about it. But before you think our relationship is some 7th heaven episode, I've gotten upset and made comments about her cheating in effed up ways. We've also found healing by doing more date nights, taking active roles in the housework / duties, sharing interests and hobbies, and most importantly, having our own time and hobbies. A lot of what led to cheating was a lack of communication about how unhappy we were and how we acted out of obligation to what we thought married people were supposed to do and be. Now I do a lot of things that make me happy. I spend so much more time with family and friends, and every day I am doing things I enjoy. I can say that I am happy. Even if I wasn't married, I'd still be happy. To all those who want to give it a try again, I say do what you won't regret. Sometimes people will end something and regret it. I know some people will say this might be a waste of time, but life isn't going to promise that any future relationships will be better. I just think if you give someone a second chance, you have to do so on your own terms. I told my wife I want to work it out, but I realize my happiness is just as important as our happiness, which is why I've invested so much more self-love and self-care. And that's my story of how I have been able to cope through this and survive. I've accepted that I may always be in survival mode, but I stayed because I wanted to forgive and see if we could mutually rebuild and heal. And so far, we have been able to do that. This hasn't stopped me from being paranoid of thinking she may never cheat again, but I don't have those thoughts so frequently that they affect my mental health. Most of these posts are people who have survived by leaving, and to them I offer support and hopes to find a happier future. But I would like to know some stories of others who have survived while staying with their partner. If anyone has any questions for me, I am totally open to sharing. I just didn't want this post to be so long, lol. Edit 1. A big part of the story I left out was that we had a daughter already when this happened. During the month break, our daughter went back and forth to my home and her. She was staying with family. When my wife apologized to me, she talked about how she regretted putting our child and extended family through this. My wife does not need me for financial reasons and vice versa. And while she was away, she had every opportunity to cut ties, but she didn't and continuously made efforts to talk to me. And the second story is titled, WS cheated and is angry with me for wanting out of the marriage. Is this a common occurrence? Let's get right into it. I've been married to my wife for nearly 2 years. No kids, no property. We have been in a dead bedroom since shortly before the wedding. We went to counseling for it and failed. We had serious talks about it and they all failed. I considered leaving if she didn't get any additional help. I recently found out that she's been in a S/emotional affair with an old college friend for over a year. It has taken place at his place as well as ours, also unprotected. It has gone on before and after our canceling has ended. When confronted, she tried lying until I showed her the evidence. She apologized repeatedly. She claims that she never planned on leaving me for him. She tried sweet talking me back. I filed for annulment. I've had enough of the lies. After D-Day, she tried being extra nice and give me space. She apologized repeatedly and said she wouldn't be able to live with herself for a long time. She was blindsided when I served her the papers. She believed that we could work it out. After finding out that she isn't entitled to my stuff, she has been cold and mean. She yelled at me, blocked me on all social media. Then she packed her things and moved in with her sister. We haven't spoken since she moved out. She is acting as if I've cheated on her. I'm confident that I'll get through this with time and I see. I know I did my best as a husband. I deserve better. I always tried to give 100% in our marriage and made sure she was happy. Throughout our relationship and after D-Day, she said that I was her best friend. She said that I always made her feel comfortable with herself. She would always tell me that I was a good man. I did so much for her. This included traveling, cooking every night, and helping her study. I even used my connections to help her get a good job. She is 100% the reason why this marriage failed. I tried my best to be patient and to be understanding about the dead bedroom issue. She should know that any self-respecting human wouldn't stick around after her kind of behavior. So why is she so angry with me right now? Is it out of guilt and regret? And the first comment says, them getting pissed off about being caught? Yep. The thought of them no longer having a comfortable backup plan and a place in which to conduct their exploits and monkey branching? Yep. The thought of you ever getting rid of her and finding an actual good woman who won't do you wrong and live happily ever after? Yep. Look, basically you just ruined her life plan, which was only to keep you around as a plan B, in case she couldn't find anyone quote-unquote better. Everything you have done while a husband, trying to be good and thoughtful, and since you found out about your deceptive wife and why your bed went cold because she conspired to betray you, that has been textbook perfect. Whatever you do, don't let off the gas pedal. Divorce full speed and ahead. This woman has zero remorse. And the second comment says, cheaters get angry if you don't immediately agree to the narrative they had planned out in their heads. My soon-to-be ex-wife was angry I wanted to reconcile. Then angry I asked her to say out loud to me that she wanted a divorce. She kept saying, I don't think, maybe. She was angry I threatened to call the police if she left the kids home alone at night to see her AP. Then was mad I didn't agree to give her one night of the week to see him while I watched the kids. And we hadn't separated yet. Oh, and although a lot don't agree with me, I didn't agree that the other APs were blameless. My soon-to-be ex-wife is to blame, of course, but the men who interfered in my marriage share some blame also. Cheaters are definitely not going to make it easy on you in any way.